For the last, decade, we've all been chasing the same digital dream.
The #1 spot on Google.
Exactly. We mastered SEO, obsessed over keywords. We treated that search results page like it was the absolute finish line. But for 2026, that finish line is now the starting gun.
That is the perfect way to put it. The whole landscape has been, well, completely reconstructed by AI agents. Traditional SEO is quickly becoming a thing of the past.
And it's being replaced by generative engine optimization, or GEO.
That's right. And our mission for this deep dive is to get into the source material you've shared and show everyone why optimizing for AI isn't just a good idea anymore. It's an absolute requirement for being seen online.
GEO.
Yeah.
It sounds, I don't know, super technical, like something you need a whole dev team to worry about.
It can seem that way, but the stakes are really universal. We're talking about that core fear every business has right now, just becoming invisible. I mean, think about it. How do you find information now? It's not always typing keywords into a search bar. People are using AI assistants, Gemini, ChatGPT, Perplexity to summarize, to compare, to recommend things.
And if your website isn't optimized for them,
they just skip you. It's that simple. They can't read your site efficiently, so they won't cite your content, and they definitely won't recommend your brand.
the cost of being misunderstood by a machine has never been higher. So let's define this new game. If old school SEO was about, say, retrieval, getting Google to find you, what is GEO?
GEO is, it's essentially the art of structuring your content so that these big AI models can effortlessly understand you, summarize you, and then, recommend your brand.
So it's less about signals like backlinks and more about clarity.
Exactly. Maximum clarity and efficiency for the machine itself. You're not just trying to rank anymore. You're trying to give the AI a perfect, pre-digested answer.
I've spent years agonizing over H1 tags for Google's crawlers. This feels like the same kind of effort, but aimed at the AI's internal logic, not some old algorithm. It's a huge shift. You called it the translation gap.
And that gap is critical.
Yeah.
If you miss that translation, you're just dual. You're automatically deprioritized. You're making the AI work harder than it needs to.
Which is a bad idea.
A very bad idea.
Yeah.
That's where the efficiency problem turns into a real financial and competitive disadvantage for you.
We saw a great example in the sources, a company audit that showed a site scoring just 54 out of 100 on its GEO scorecard. What does a score like 54 actually mean?
A 54 isn't just a bad grade, it's a massive red flag. It's telling you that AI models are seriously struggling to figure out what you do. They have to run these deep, expensive processes just to understand what you sell.
And when an AI has a choice between a confusing site and a clear one,
It's no contest. When it can pick between your confusing site and a competitor scoring, say, 90 plus, it will pick the optimized one every single time.
so that low score means your competitor gets recommended in the AI answer box, and you just don't.
You're invisible.
Okay, that makes the stakes crystal clear. If your site is expensive for an AI to read, it moves on. So before we get into all the fixes, what's the one thing, the most immediate blocker that people need to fix right now?
The single most immediate and critical thing is the llms.txt file. Right now, its absence is probably the biggest obstacle stopping sites from being efficiently read by generative AI.
Okay, let's drill down there. We all know robots.txt, the file that tells search engines where not to go. Is llms.txt just the AI version of that?
It's similar in concept, but its function is much more proactive. Think of robots.txt as a fence. llms.txt is more like a detailed instruction manual for the AI.
An operating guide.
A perfect way to put it. It's a markdown file that gives these AI crawlers clear, unambiguous instructions on what your site is about and how to interact with it.
One of the metrics in the source material that really jumped out at me was about token efficiency. It's a number that should get every marketer's attention. What happens if you're missing this file?
The consequence is immediate and punitive. Without this simple file, the AI wastes a staggering 400% more tokens just trying to figure out your site.
400%. Okay, for someone who isn't deep into AI infrastructure, why should a website owner care if, OpenAI or Google use more of their own resources, their tokens?
Because tokens represent computational cost. It's money. For a massive AI company, processing an expensive, confusing site is just bad business. So when your site is costing them 400% more resources to read,
They just skip you.
they skip you. They optimize for efficiency by just moving on. That's why the cost of confusion is total invisibility.
It's an economic argument, really, just dressed up as a technical one. And the sources show that fixing this isn't some massive project, right?
Not at all. In that audit example we've been talking about, the missing llms.txt was a critical issue, sure, but the fix time, 2 minutes.
2 minutes For what kind of gain?
For an immediate plus 15-point increase to the GEO score, that's a jump from 54 to 69 just from deploying one simple text file. It's the definition of a high-impact, low-effort fix.
So what's actually in this file? I assume you can't just put hello AI in there.
Yeah.
Let's use that C2C train tickets example to make it really concrete.
Right. So the file needs to clearly detail the business and the rules of engagement for the AI. For the train company, the instructions specified, the name of the service, something like purchase C2C train tickets for services traveling between Southend and London.
Super specific.
It has to be. Then the main purpose, like to facilitate the purchase of train tickets. Then, crucially, the allowed actions, what the AI is allowed to do.
Like helping users find journey times.
Exactly. Retrieving information, answering questions, and finally, the disallowed actions. This sets the boundaries. The AI must not access user data, engage in transactions, or alter content. It's both a mission statement and a safety brief for the machine.
So it instantly signals, I'm safe, I'm efficient, you can process me easily. Okay, so llms.txt gets us to a safer score, stops the token bleed, but getting from, say, 69 to a perfect 100, that feels like it would take a data scientist.
That's the challenge, and it's where these new tools come in. The sources kept emphasizing that getting to 100 out of 100 doesn't require a data scientist.
Because tools like Refactor.Tools can do the heavy lifting.
Precisely. They turn what would be a complex audit into a simple, actionable checklist. It makes that final climb to 100 accessible to anyone.
So the tool bridges the gap between seeing the problem and knowing how to fix it. Let's walk through what a tool like that actually does.
Okay, so first, it gives you immediate context. You check your score, you see the breakdown, and you see the path like moving from 54 to a potential 70 just by adding that llms.txt file. But the real power is in the depth of the audit, specifically the knowledge graph audit.
And why is the knowledge graph so important for GEO?
Because AI models are built to summarize and cite things, they don't want to read a whole paragraph to find a price. They want structured data they can pull directly into their answer.
Got it.
The knowledge graph audit checks for that data, things like service type, pricing model, and it can be really specific, like we saw £11.40 to £23.40 depending on the journey and target audience. That level of detail is what lets the AI cite you with confidence.
If the AI knows exactly what you sell, for how much, and to whom, citing you becomes trivial, right?
It's a no-brainer for the AI.
But what about the actual words on the page, the content itself? It seems like GEO demands absolute clarity over, old school keyword stuffing.
Absolutely. The tool rewrites vague headlines into crystal clear text that AI models love. We saw that even small fixes, like optimizing just 4 headlines, could get you a +1 GEO point in about 30 minutes.
Let's talk about that headline example. The sources mentioned an issue with the word buy. That seems really granular. Why would an AI care about buy versus purchase?
It's all about removing any ambiguity of intent. A headline like, buy C2C train tickets could, to a machine, imply a direct transaction API, which might not be how the page is structured.
Okay.
So the AI-optimized fix was purchase C2C train tickets. By using a slightly clearer verb, you remove any doubt. You're telling the AI this page is definitively a transactional service provider. No guesswork needed.
That's a subtle but really powerful distinction. It's tuning your language for machine comprehension. What other kinds of errors did the audit find?
A huge one was lack of context. Headlines that are too clever, like, win a ticket for 2 to Into the Woods. That's meaningless unless the AI already knows what Into the Woods is. GEO demands universal clarity.
And I'm guessing confusing abbreviations are also a killer for visibility.
Totally. A headline like, C2C introduces 12-car trains, uses jargon. An AI model might not know what that means. You have to use standardized, universally understood terms so the output is never ambiguous.
So it's content, structure, and the deep technical foundation. Does the tool also get into those technical fixes beyond just llms.txt?
It does. To get the highest scores, you need technical compliance. The tool guides you on other code fixes, like correcting the content security policy header. It just makes sure the whole site is secure and, most importantly, easy for the AI to crawl.
Okay, but optimization is only half the battle. It only matters if it leads to real-world results. The audit tool has something called an AI search visibility test.
And that's the moment of truth. That's what connects your internal GEO score to what a consumer actually sees. It shows you exactly how you rank in real AI search results. It's competitive intelligence you can act on.
So for the train ticket site, what did that test show? How do they stack up against the big competitors?
For a really valuable query like buy C2C train tickets Southend to London, the site ranked number 3. And the best part is the tool gives you specific, actionable advice based on that ranking.
So what's the advice if you're number 3?
The suggestion was to optimize page for local SEO with targeted keywords. But if you ranked a bit lower, say number 4 for a different query, the action is different. Create detailed content on services, journey times, and customer feedback. It's not generic advice, it's personalized.
Right.
So to just synthesize this whole thing, GEO isn't a trend, it's the requirement for visibility in 2026. Deploying llms.txt stops that insane token waste. Optimizing your content and data ensures you get cited favorably. It all comes together to make sure your brand is the one the AI recommends.
This has been a really necessary deep dive. The era of GEO is here. That tiny llms.txt file can stop a 400% token waste. And tools like Refactor can make getting to a perfect score fast and simple. No data scientist needed.
So here's the thought I want to leave you with. If AI crawlers are currently wasting 400% more tokens to understand your site, and we know that waste leads to them skipping your content, what specific immediate impact is that having on your revenue right now? The cost of that confusion is probably far greater than any investment in clarity.
That's the question you need to be asking. Don't let the future just scroll past you. If you want to know if your site is truly ready for the AI agents of 2026 and see your own personalized path to 100% visibility, head over to Refactor, tools to run your own audit. Get ahead of the curve.